White realtor called 911 on a black couple, viewing a home. Then the mayor stepped out of the car. It started as the happiest day of their lives. Saturday morning sunshine beamed through the windshield of a black hybrid sedan as Leah and Marcus Jefferson cruised through the winding tree-lined streets of East Riverview. They weren't just looking for a home, they were dreaming of one. Leah wore a sky-blue sundress, curly hair pinned back with a gold clip, her eyes bright with hope. Marcus had on khakis and a button-down shirt. He wanted to make a good impression. After all, this was their third open house, and it felt promising. The house at 1427 Brookhaven Lane had white pillars, wrap-around porches, and a storybook charm. It was the kind of place you imagined raising children and growing old. Everything about it whispered possibility. They parked across the street, hearts full. Leah squeezed Marcus's hand. "This is the one. I can feel it." They walked up the path, arm in arm, past trimmed hedges and blooming hydrangeas. The front door was open, the way it always was for open houses. Inside, the scent of cinnamon and fresh paint floated through the air. No one greeted them. That wasn't unusual. Sometimes agents stepped out or let buyers explore alone. So Leah and Marcus took their time. They admired the crown molding, ran their fingers over the kitchen counters, peeked into closets and pantries, and imagined their photos on the fireplace mantel. They even walked through the sunroom, envisioning early Sunday mornings, with coffee and jazz music drifting through the open windows. Across the street, Shelley Grant watched from her car. Shelley was the listing agent, white, mid-50s, sharp bob haircut, tight blazer. She had stepped away to take a phone call, but noticed the couple walking in. Her eyes narrowed. No clipboard. No appointment. Just walking in? She didn't see the open house sign that had fallen over in the breeze. What she did see were two black people entering a $1 million home without her. Shelley ended the call and reached for her phone again, this time to dial 911. "Yes, I need to report a break-in in progress," she said, eyes locked on the house. "They're inside now. A man and a woman, African American. They look suspicious." Inside, Leah held up her phone to snap a photo of the sunroom. Marcus was in the dining room admiring a chandelier, already talking softly about Thanksgiving dinners. They had plans, dreams, and they weren't hurting anyone. Outside, the sirens were already on their way. 5 minutes later, Marcus heard it first, a car door slam, then another. Heavy footsteps, voices, the kind that make your stomach twist even before you understand why. "Police! Come out with your hands visible!" Leah and Marcus froze. Their hearts pounded. They stepped onto the porch slowly, blinking against the sunlight. 4 officers waited with tense expressions, hands hovering near holsters. Their stances said everything. "What's going on?" Marcus asked. "We received a call about a break-in," an officer barked. "You don't live here?" "No, we're viewing the home. It's an open house," Leah said, voice shaking. "We were invited." Shelley appeared then, walking up with crossed arms. "They weren't invited. I don't know them. They weren't on the list." Marcus tried to explain. Leah held up her phone. "There was a listing online. It said open house, from 11 to 3. We followed the directions exactly." One officer turned his head. "We'll need to see some ID, both of you." Crowds had begun to gather. Neighbors peeked from behind curtains. A teenager across the street filmed with a phone. Another neighbor, an older man in a fishing hat, muttered, "They didn't do anything." Marcus fished for his wallet, his hands slow and visible. Leah pulled out her driver's license. The air was thick with accusation. Their joy had soured into fear. Then a silver SUV pulled up fast. The rear door opened before it fully stopped. Out stepped Mayor Denise Langford. Black, bold, brilliant, and mad as hell. "What the hell is going on here?" she demanded. She didn't wait for an answer. She strode up to the officers, voice unwavering. "These two are guests. Of mine. I told them to come see this home. This exact home. Today." The officers stammered. Shelley's face drained of color. "You called 911 because a black couple was house hunting? Are you kidding me?" the mayor said, turning to her. Shelley opened her mouth, closed it. Words failed her. Mayor Langford turned to Marcus and Leah. "Are you all right?" They nodded. Barely. She faced the crowd, the cameras, the police. "Let me be clear," she said. "This kind of racial profiling has no place in our city. Not in real estate, not in policing, not in our neighborhoods, not ever." The footage made national headlines by evening. It was replayed on talk shows, dissected in opinion pieces, and shared across platforms by celebrities and activists. Shelley was suspended. The brokerage firm released a statement disavowing her actions. The local board of realtors launched an investigation. Mayor Langford didn't stop there. She pushed for sweeping change. She passed emergency legislation that required implicit bias training for all licensed realtors in the city. Police dispatch received new protocols for handling nonviolent calls to avoid unnecessary escalation. The local city council hosted forums for residents to voice experiences with discrimination, many of which had gone unheard for decades. Leah and Marcus? They bought the house. And when they closed on it, Mayor Langford showed up with a bottle of champagne. "To your future," she toasted. 2 months later, a moving truck pulled into the driveway. Neighbors brought casseroles and welcome notes. One even apologized. "We should have said something," she whispered. "Next time I will." Every day, Leah sat on the wraparound porch with a glass of iced tea, waving at everyone who passed. Sometimes they waved back with hesitant smiles, sometimes with shame. But Leah waved anyway. Their story became a case study in local colleges, a training module in realtor certification, programs, and a reminder that justice often shows up with calm voices, brave hearts, and truth on its side. If this story moved you, click like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments where you're watching from. Because stories like this matter, and we need your voice to keep them alive.